So 12 months ago, a year ago, you were talking about selling the leasing unit. Where are we at?
Well, we've received some non-binding bids now, and the data room's been open. So the
Good
bidders, happy.
Happy.
Go wait and see.
Yeah.
The final numbers. Not really right to talk about it now.
Yeah.
But we hope by March, end of March, we'll have some binding bids.
Okay, but it would be from the same people that put in bids at the moment.
Yes.
You're not expecting new ones.
No,
So
I mean, some people have come in, last minute, working with Credit Suisse and the banks now to see whether they can still make the timeline.
Do you think you'll make that timeline? How long did you give yourself to sell it?
I think so, yeah. We're right on the money. Right on the money. So,
can you give us any hints of where the bids come from?
No, I can't. I wouldn't be. I'll be told off by 1,000,001 people. So try and behave myself on Bloomberg.
All right. So, but by March, you'll have a binding bid, and then the actual sell-off would be when? By summer of this year?
Yeah, I think so. That's exactly right.
Okay. And are you expecting volatility? I mean, is there anything in the horizon that could actually hurt some of those bids?
Obviously, I think the market right now seems to be quite stable. In our part of the world, there's some currency issues, but the leasing company is very much dollar-based. And our business has been very strong, which is robust. A large part of the business is leasing into our airline as well. So I expect we should have a nice, easy run-in.
Right. What will you do with the proceeds? If you can't tell me who the bidders are.
Well, that's up to the board. There may be a dividend. There may be something to use to reduce some debt in the company. Our gearing is very low anyway, but I always like to have more cash than less cash. It really is up to the board to finally decide what they're going to do with that. But
you'd be pushing for a dividend? Is that what shareholders demand?
I think we'd be looking at a dividend, yes. I think a large part of it will go as a dividend, but really it's up to the board.
Give me a sense of the mood out there, right?
Do you know, it's been a little bit of a dampener, but I think the numbers are on Asia's side. Obviously, lots waiting to see what Donald Trump will do. There's Brexit. But I've always been a big believer in the internal markets. AirAsia has focused on creating its own market within Southeast Asia. We've gone from 2 planes to 200 by creating a lot of connectivity within Southeast Asia. ASEAN has 700 million people. Our business remains strong. Our first quarter looks very, very strong. Yeah. So we're still optimistic of the future, and ancillary income is a big upside for me. Yeah. And, but there's one thing I know, there's always some problem around the corner. But for us, we're a little bit of a strange airline in that, when things are slowing down, actually we're a beneficiary of that.
Tony, you've said in the past that you want a holding company called ASEAN, listed in Hong Kong. Yeah. Are you on time for that? When will that happen?
Well, I think the first stage is we've picked a banker. The guys are working hard to do a secondary listing. North Asia is a very big part of our business. There's a lot of demand for our stock. So we decided to have a secondary listing. The second part of that operation, whether it's in Hong Kong or somewhere else, is to try and persuade the ASEAN leaders to create ASEAN brands. And I've been pushing for an ASEAN stock market. So we're kind of one of those brands, along with CIMB and other banks, other companies that have really focused on ASEAN, have an ASEAN brand. Because of ownership regulations, we own 49% of all of them. So it's a little bit of a Frankenstein. So I'm trying to create one economic model so we could be like Ryanair and EasyJet.
And why would you not list it in Hong Kong?
Oh, we could. I mean, that's
right. It's open, but
that's open.
But how do you make that decision? If it's not Hong Kong, where would it be? Singapore?
Well, first step is really to try and get the buy-in from all the leaders. I'd like to. I mean, my ultimate aim would like to see an ASEAN stock market, or maybe listed in the 4 or 5 biggest ASEAN stock markets to give it a shot. And
again, how does that directly help?
Well, it takes a lot of confusion. It makes our accounts simpler. It makes us one airline like Ryanair and EasyJet as opposed to 5 different units. I've been pushing for more integration and treating us as one airline. It takes a lot of costs out of the business and makes our accounts a lot more simpler. You've
wanted to expand in China for a very long time. Are you closer?
Well, ask the Prime Minister soon.
Are you meeting? Are you meeting with him?
No. I think we've done very well in China. 19% of our business is there. We've gone into tertiary cities. We continue our expansion into China. Yeah. But also, I want to say that India has become a very interesting market for us. We're now growing that very rapidly. So we have 3 engines of growth. We have ASEAN, we have China, and India. And so lots of growth. And that's why I remain optimistic. I know there's a little bit of a dampener in Asia, but the sheer number of people and the fact that I'm a big believer in globalization. I know some other people on this show haven't said it, but I believe that we're moving in the right direction.
Tony Fernandes, thank you so much.